Not quite sure if that was 6 seconds, but it's a big deal. Stick around and you'll find out why.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Whether you've been married 1 or 20 plus years, at some point you realize you married into crazy. And that's what our show is all about. If your marriage or relationship is compassionate, real, accountable, zealous and yielding, or just plain crazy, Snooks and Lovey offer love, laughter, and a dose of reality as they unpack this thing called marriage. Sit back, relax, and get your ear hustle on. It's time to start the conversation.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy E.T. Look, if you're looking to or you got to raise the bar on your marriage, you gotta click the link and get into Married into Crazy, y'all. I'm telling you, this coaching is gonna take your relationship to another level. Now look, you already know you need to raise the bar. You know that already. So stop thinking or overthinking. Click that link, and Marriage into Crazy is gonna take you and your spouse to marital bliss. Now you know. Click the button. Let's go.
Welcome back to another episode of the Married into Crazy podcast with Snooks and Lovey.
I'm Snooks.
And I'm Lovey. Why you say it like that?
I was in the middle of getting ready to say something, and then you just started. So
You got to surprise them. Got to surprise them every now and then.
Not me in the chair. Them maybe, but not me.
Hey, we appreciate you coming back for another episode of the podcast. You have lots of choices, lots of different things that you could be doing right now, but you're choosing to spend some time to discuss marriage.
Cute.
What? Oh, see, I got lipstick on right now. She kissed me in the intro, and, you know, it's a good thing. Look, I'm not saying avoid the kiss, but I'm not big on walking around with lipstick on, so that's just...
I feel that. I appreciate that, too.
Hey, look, you're listening to the Married into Crazy podcast. We've been married for 27 plus years, and we've been through some things. And we talk about a lot of different things when it comes to marriage.
Yeah. All things married. That's what you normally say, huh? I just took his line, y'all. Anyway, go.
No, so it's one of those things where we come together, we talk about a variety of things. We bring you guests and subject matter experts. You've seen some individuals that we've shared over the course of the last few weeks, over the course of the last few years. And so today, though, we're not going to have a guest, but we are going to talk about some really interesting things that I believe are going to really help your marriage, particularly you, men. There's something that you want to listen to. And ladies, if you're listening to it, you're going to want to share this information with your man to help him live a little bit longer.
Oh, okay. I was getting ready to... No. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, before we get into all of that, we want all of you who are watching this lovely podcast to make sure that you subscribe and review at YouTube and wherever you download all your other podcasts. So,
and if you're like, okay, I don't know if I want to do all that, just go to marriedintocrazy.com, where you can see all the different ways that we support marriage. There's a variety of things. There's a clothing store where you can get some of the gear, so you let everybody know that you're married into crazy.
Yep.
We just added some of the summer selection as well. It's barbecue time.
I was going to say, did you get your...
No, I haven't received mine yet.
Oh, okay.
Because I haven't placed my order, and I need to do that.
Wow. See, I didn't know that you didn't do that, because I was expecting for Mother's Day for you to be out there on the grill, but...
I'll be out on the grill, but I'm not going to have my apron. It's a nice apron. I know that there's several chefs out there that have actually purchased theirs, so I'm excited about that. We've asked them to make sure they put it on social media as well. But that's another thing. Go to the store, get some gear. Every now and then we hold social media contests where if you post pictures, once we announce it, not just randomly, but once we post pictures and tag us, then you'll end up getting a gift card of some sort. Last time it was Amazon cards, just simply by being you and posting a picture wearing our gear. But there's other things. There's the Raise the B.A.R marriage series, where if you're not ready for the couple-to-couple coaching, you can actually just watch a video or a series of videos. There's 18 of them that walk you through a workbook and creates conversation for you to have discussions in your own living room, in your bedroom.
And it's self-paced. So, you know, obviously if you can do it online, you can do it self-paced. Don't ever feel like you have to do it all at once unless you want to do it that way, but there's no.
Gentlemen, you'll be able to have the power to do something I have not been able to do for the last 27 plus years.
Listen, do what you're told.
Hit pause when she's talking. That's something that it's on my wish list, but it hasn't come about yet. Except for when I watch the videos.
It's on your wish list?
When I watch Raise the B.A.R, when other people watch porn, I watch Raise the B.A.R, and then I hit pause when she's talking.
But
Pause. Yeah, see, that's something that that does it for me.
I'm glad to know that. Okay, this is being recorded. I'll be going back and watching this, and so keep that same energy, bro.
But hey, for those of you that have been asking, and thank you for all the inquiries, the book is about to be released. It should be out. Those that did the pre-orders, thank you so much for the pre-orders. And the book, Out of Order, should be shipping out the end of this month on May 31st. And then as of June 1st, Out of Order will be available on Amazon.com and other fine retailers that are carrying books. And that is, again, a book that we've co-authored. We each have a chapter in the book, our own independent chapters. And it's really diving into the journey of grief and hope and the path of healing, not complete healing, but the path of healing that not just us, but other parents that have lost their children have actually gone through. And so it's offering different perspectives because everybody deals with it differently. And so anyway, that book, Out of Order, is going to be out on Amazon.com come June 1st. And the pre-orders will be shipping out here in the next couple of weeks or so. So we thank you for all of that. Last but not least, sorry, we're going to get into the content, but I do have to point out that if you're looking for something fun to do this upcoming weekend, if you're listening to it live, it's coming out on May 8th, this particular episode, on May 11th, Saturday, May 11th, at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See, I did that quick math. I had to add 3 to the 4. We're going to be having a virtual date night, and we are co-hosting it with none other than Kelly Dobson, the CEO of The Dual Duvet. She was a guest of ours last month on the show. Actually, not last month, heck, last week. Time flies. So she was a guest. Anyway, we're going to be partnering with her, and there's a number of couples that have already signed up. The actual link will be in the show notes for you to go and register so that way you can participate in this virtual date night that's happening all over. Actually, I should say the world, but anybody in the world can actually chime in. It's just a matter of coming in. We're going to be playing games, having prizes. It's a PJ affair, so wear your favorite PJs. Just something different, a virtual date night, something to do.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
She is not participating today.
I was fine until, I don't know, anyway, you start talking about the book that just, and I hope people just kind of just bear with us because those that have experienced grief, it just comes at any moment. And we've talked about this before and it didn't do anything to me. And just a minute ago, it's just like, wait. What?
Yeah,
so
I don't want to go down that path because there's been a lot of things. She's rewinding. All right, but hey, look. Okay, so look, to change the atmosphere, I want to actually try something. Look, I want to actually share something right now that's going to save or at least add a few years to a husband's life. So, take a look at this. I am going to get it to play.
Men who kiss their wives goodbye when they leave for work live 4 years longer than men who don't. And that's a perfunctory kiss. But the 6-second kiss, which we recommend, has much more potential than that peck on the cheek.
What is the 6-second kiss and not 5 or 4?
Because oxytocin gets secreted. With a 20-second hug or a 6-second kiss, you're both secreting oxytocin. And that creates a sense of psychological safety and connection.
And bonding.
See, that is why we were kissing in the very beginning, and I had to wipe the little lipstick off because we did our version of a 6-second kiss.
Mm-hmm, because lipstick gives him heebie-jeebies.
I don't know, fellas. You guys like it? I mean, you have to wipe it off afterwards. I feel like there's like Vaseline or something really thick on my lips.
He's so ridiculous, and I ain't mad. It's funny to me now because I remember before when I was going out every day to work, when I was working in the prison, I had to leave the house at 5:15 or whatever. This is time before he would be up. So I would go and bend down because, we pray every morning. So I bend down and say a quick prayer with him. I go to kiss him and he would do his face like, and I'm like, what? You got lipstick on? I'm like, are you serious right now? That's that I'm trying to kiss you and try to, like they said, have some bonding or something. And you're worried about the lipstick. Mind you, he was going to get up to go take a shower and wash his face and all that kind of stuff. But lipstick on his lips from the time that I left till he got in the shower, that it was like he was gonna die from it or something. I was like, you are ridiculous right now.
I love her lips, and I love to kiss her, and even in the moment, in the heat of passion, the lipstick doesn't bother me. But when we done, the lipstick got to come off.
So ridiculous.
I don't know why. I've been like that. Same thing. My mom would kiss me and have lipstick on my cheek. It would drive me nuts, and I'd have to like sit there and scrub it and try and get it off. It's always been that way for me, so I don't know why.
That's funny.
But here's the thing. That clip, that was actually, that was John and Julie Gottman. Actually, John Gottman is who you saw from the Gottman Institute. Mm-hmm. And we happen to be level 1, level 2 Gottman couples therapy certified. And we've gone through those first two stages. And I really like what they teach. It's based on years, decades worth of research. They're the foremost authority in the world.
40 years longitude research on couples therapy.
Yep, they're an amazing couple with an amazing team that does nothing more than really compile information to help others have an amazing relationship. But what he talks about, that 6-second kiss, or he also said, or a 20-second hug. I don't know that I do the 20-second hug.
Really?
What?
We do that every day.
Well, I guess we do. I was thinking it's like just a hug just for the sake of hugging, but we do. We hug all the time.
Yeah. So, what?
So do you feel like, you're getting the benefit of oxytocin?
I always feel better. I know that it doesn't matter where we are. If you're sitting down in the office, we're watching TV, just the connection, it's like, yeah. And when you hug me and I hug you and you rub my back, I rub your back, or you rub my whatever, I always feel better.
So how many of you really know what oxytocin?
And I was about to say, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but I never thought about like, oh, let me get my 6-second kiss and my 20-second hug so that the oxytocin, is that how you say it?
Yeah, it's oxytocin.
Yeah. Okay. So that can come in. I just know that it made me feel better. I always thought it was just because of our connection, but I didn't know it was chemical balance.
It was chemical balance. As a matter of fact,
he's about to nerd out. Y'all go.
Everybody's been, she saw it coming. Well, when everybody was watching all those shows on Netflix, when they were talking about Oxycontin and how it was making people feel and all of that, there's that oxy portion of it.
I got you.
Look, I'm going to tell you, get your oxy.
I'm tracking.
Get your oxy, but not contin, tocin.
Is it Oxycontin?
That was the drug.
Yeah.
That was bad. Oxytocin is the drug that is good. Oxytocin is a natural occurrence within your body. And there's several different ways. There's reasons and major benefits. And I think we should go into the benefits of actually having some oxytocin.
So is that like the same thing that you get, like they talk about with ice cream or chocolate, or?
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. That's more
hormone.
dopamine.
Oh, dopamine. That's what I was thinking.
That's more dopamine. But I will tell you that. But this is a natural thing. Just like you'll hear certain terms tossed around, like oxytocin. It's a feel good hormone. You'll hear about adrenaline, right? If you get like really excited and you got to run or whatever, or you feel pumped up. Dopamine, serotonin, these different things that you feel, these things that are released within your body in order to regulate your mood balances, right? Well, oxytocin does the exact same thing, or does something very similar. And let me give you some examples. I printed off a little bit of information.
Ooh.
And so we're going to go over the 5 benefits of oxytocin.
Okay.
All right. So number 1, they've already mentioned it. So John and Julie Gottman mentioned there's a stronger bond and attachment. So it's often called the love hormone.
Oxytocin.
Oxytocin is.
Got
It's
you.
called the love hormone because it promotes feelings of trust, closeness, and affection. So to your point, when you're cuddling, hugging, touching, and if you've ever noticed that when you're close to your partner, if your love language is that of physical touch, it means that you've got a strong connection to releasing oxytocin. It does something for you. I know, like in bed, when we get in bed, and it's funny, her love language is not necessarily physical touch. It's acts of service, but it's one of those things where she gets in bed and she just has to like reach her foot over, as icy as it may be, and touch my leg or my foot. And I have to actually reach over and touch her. I feel better. I immediately get more calm and, I don't know, grounded, relaxed just by touching. So studies have actually shown that couples with higher oxytocin levels report feeling more satisfied and secure in their relationships. So here's an example. A married couple makes a habit of cuddling on the couch before bed. This regular physical contact stimulates oxytocin release, reinforcing their feelings of attachment and love.
So for the people who are not huggers, touchers, or whatever, this could be a way to get the I don't want to say it will change your love language or anything like that, but
Not change it. It doesn't even necessarily need to be your primary. Even if it's not your primary love language, I'm not saying, I got to be a hugger now. No, it's not even the case. But there's something to say about holding hands on the couch. And look, there was an article printed in Time magazine. 5 ways love is good for your mental and physical health. If you want to see more, that particular bullet point that I just talked about, you can learn more about it in that Time magazine article. But it can actually promote that, even if it's not your primary language. It can still, you can reap the benefits just from 6 seconds of a kiss, 20 seconds of a hug, or prolonged just touching, sitting next to each other on the couch and, just touching.
what is wrong with you? So crazy.
Why don't you go to the next one?
So the next one was reduce stress and anxiety.
Yes.
Oxytocin acts as a natural stress reliever. Physical intimacy like cuddling or massage can lower cortisol, which is a stress hormone. Cortisol levels while increasing oxytocin. This can help couples cope better with daily stressors and maintain a calmer, more positive outlook. So, I have something to say about that. So, example, after a long workday, a spouse gives their partner a massage. This physical touch not only releases tense muscles, but also promotes oxytocin release, helping them to both de-stress and unwind. So, there are instances, though, just as kind of playing devil's advocate, where...
There we go.
I know you're ashamed.
Come on, devil.
Just trying to playing devil's advocate, because there are some people who they've been around, like been touched all day, let's say by their children, by their whatever, and then they feel like, get away from me. I just need my space. And they don't want to be touched. Basically, what?
That's possible. There's always going to be a one-off, right? So, there is no cookie cutter for every couple, but I will say that the research pointing towards a happy relationship, a happy marriage, lends itself to having more oxytocin release than not.
Yeah.
And there's different ways.
I get it.
Look, the one thing, oxytocin is also, it talked about, you had mentioned, stress release, right? Physical touch, massage, what have you. Oxytocin is released during sex. There is the climax and all of that takes place, but there's that bonding, that physical feeling. If there was a hormone that was to be represented, why women connect more times than not than men. There's some women that are just in it, for the minute, in it to win it. But then there's others that are like, it's a sacred occurrence. And a lot of that has to do not so much from the spiritual standpoint of it, because there is that, but there's also this sense of connectedness, that feeling. And that's generated by the release of oxytocin.
Okay.
So, I mean, and if you can also look up the benefits of cuddling for sleep and health, because it will help you sleep better as well. Mm-hmm. So that's why we say, get you a little something in before going to bed. It'll help your sleep and health.
Get it in. Just don't do it late at night, because then you're tired in the morning.
That's when you call in. Start it all over again. No, I'm just saying. But okay,
I am too.
But for couples that are actually saying, okay, you know what? This question came up. We were at a marriage event this past weekend. We went to the Love Languages. I forget the full title. But
Lovers for Life.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. It was sponsored by Lovers for Life. Shout out to Renee Allen.
Lady Renee. Pastor Allen and Lady Renee Allen.
Yes. Shout out to them. They put on an amazing event where there were just couples that spanned from 2 weeks married all the way up to 47 years married. And we happened to be invited, and we participated in a panel answering questions over the course of the evening of dinner that were brought to the group from everybody that was in the room.
Yeah, played games too.
Yeah, we played games. We got to host the newlywed game, and so we ran that one, which was interesting. But here's the thing. A question came up saying, how do you spark your relationship after a long period of time, and if that spark is gone? Well, I'm going to tell you that one of the major keys is going to be oxytocin. So if you want to improve communication and empathy, because a lot of times we stop, we stop empathizing, really, with our spouse, because the seasons change. We get older, seasons change, and you don't do what you used to do when we were in our 20s, and so forth. And so everything shifts. Mm-hmm. And so by releasing more oxytocin, it does promote, better communication, a connectedness feeling, perhaps a little bit more empathy. Mm-hmm. Oxytocin can enhance empathy and understanding, making it easier for couples to communicate effectively. By fostering a sense of safety and trust, oxytocin encourages open communication and allows couples to connect on a deeper level. Here's an example. During a disagreement, a couple takes a moment to hold hands or hug. Right? Let's make sure it's over 20 seconds. This physical touch, along with the oxytocin it triggers, can help them calm down, listen to each other's perspectives, and communicate more productively.
Be like, give me a hug. Come on, give me a hug. Give me a hug. I ain't touching you. Get away from me.
But have you ever noticed, though, that when there's a very emotional event that's taking place, and everyone's upset, and let's say it's at a funeral, and there's emotions that are actually flying, and you just reach over and you hug each other. There's a calming effect that comes when you're calm. Now, I'm not talking about the anger and all that. Now, this is talking about a disagreement, but there is science. It's rooted in science, but it can actually help with communication and empathy in that respect.
Mm-hmm. I get you. I feel you. I'm tracking.
Okay. What's the next one?
So the next one is enhance sexual intimacy. I was waiting for it. Oxytocin plays a role in sexual arousal for both men and women. During sexual activity, oxytocin levels rise, contributing to feelings of pleasure and promoting emotional closeness between partners. An example, I don't think we need an example, but a couple prioritizes regular intimacy, not just for physical pleasure, but also for the emotional connection it fosters. The oxytocin release during sex strengthens their bond and deepens their emotional intimacy. So I want to kind of speak to this. Like you said before, you're talking about couples in different stages, seasons change, and we as women, sometimes we go through stuff. Yeah. I mean, hormone levels drop. Sometimes they drop very low. And we always think that is just, it's a lot of times it's just age related as because we're older. But that's not necessarily the case. There are times where there are some women who they have very, very low libidos. And, hugging me or holding my hand or, a kiss or something like that may not do it. So when those type of things happen, make sure that you are going to see your OBGYN. Go to your doctor and see what's going on with you, Excuse me. I know that a lot of times stress does play a part of how you're feeling. The daily demands when life is lifing and you're just like, oh God, that's just another thing I gotta do, I'm just saying to make sure that you go and if you have zero, like I don't.
That's what you said.
I'm trying to be serious. Why are you being silly? But I'm just saying anyway. But if you're not feeling any type of oxytocin, and I don't mean just about so you can have sex, If there's something that research is saying, after this amount of time or whatever, you should feel a certain kind of way, and you're not feeling it at all, not even, like I said, not just to have sex, go see your primary physician or go see your OBGYN or whatever, to find out what's going on, because it's hard sometimes. You hear, well, I should be this way, or I should respond this way, or, how come I'm not feeling like everyone else? And when you don't, it seems like you're not making the same type of connection, or you're not feeling like others. That can play on your self-esteem, and you start wondering, well, what the heck is wrong with me? And when you feel like there may be something wrong with you, then that will affect your mental health, and your mental health will then in turn affect your marriage. And so just like this big circle that just kind of goes on. So I'm saying, invest in yourself and make sure that you go see a doctor, get checked out or something.
And the only thing I'll add to that is, not only should you see a medical doctor, but consider if it's been going for some time and it is affecting your marriage and your mental health and your communication and so forth, contemplate seeing a therapist or a marriage coach as well. And look, I'm just going to put this out there. Everybody that calls themselves a marriage coach isn't necessarily a marriage coach. And I'm not bashing anyone. I'm just saying that do your due diligence. They should have receipts, so to speak. Couples out there speaking on their behalf of what they've actually done for their relationships. There should be some foundation in research, as well as traditional, to a certain extent, of training, but then also people that have gone through some things that have perspective, and that you vibe with them as well. And that goes for both therapists and marriage coaches. So make sure that you are vetting them. And feel free to ask for references as well. And if people aren't able to provide references, then that should let you know that you might want to keep inquiring of other individuals. But I think that's a very important component as well. Remember, you got to get a marriage team, not just, it's like anything else. If you go into business and you're providing a service for others, it's rarely ever just you. There's going to be a CPA. You should have a lawyer. You should have a tax, your tax person. You should also have maybe a business coach. You should have somebody that does marketing or is working with you from a marketing perspective, and if you don't have all that, somebody might wear multiple hats, but you're putting together your team, doing the exact same thing within your relationship. A strong team. I know Snooks is like, I don't know if I agree with that. But that team can be your confidants, somebody that's down for you and your marriage. We talk about an iron tribe. That could be your team. It could be your pastor. It could be, that person that is really down for the covenant. It might be a marriage coach. It might be your therapist. And it is definitely going to be your medical doctor to a certain extent, because we have to make sure that we are healthy, not just physically, but mentally, spiritually, and so forth.
So I understand what you're saying, but I don't necessarily agree with the references part, because there is some confidentiality that has to be maintained.
Oh, when I say reference, I'm like, oh yeah, and I helped them with this. He had
right
erectile dysfunction, and I helped him. No, not that. I'm talking about just people that said, you know what, just somebody that can actually offer.
So I mean, if there are reviews, or I want to say, because therapists get Yelp and like we have on our testimonials and stuff like that. But if someone is not able to offer, oh yeah, I can give you this person as a reference or whatever.
There should be
don't hold that against them. I'm just saying.
Okay, I agree with that. There should be something though.
But it could be that, and I'm not trying to cut you off again, but it could be that it could be that you might be your own reference. The people, whoever you're looking at, they might be the own. Do you like what you see? Do you feel it? Does it seem authentic? And obviously, people can get on and they'll lie and they'll say whatever. You do have to be careful. I know that's what you're saying.
And know this, you do have the right of refusal at any point. If you start a process, if you end up with a bad, or I won't say bad, but if you end up with somebody that you just don't vibe with, you can stop sessions and go find somebody else. Don't write off all coaches, all therapists, LMFTs, LCSWs. Don't write off everyone. Just be like, this was not a good experience. Because look, you'd sit there and go, oh, you know what? I like Mexican food. And you go to a restaurant and you're like, ooh, these guys were not good. You're not saying, oop, I'll never eat Mexican food again. You're like, oh, I just won't go to that restaurant. Mm-hmm. And it might even be that chain. I like certain food, but I don't like it from that particular location. I love it at all these other locations.
Yeah. Ooh, I've had that experience before.
And, we're not going to call any names, Chipotle. But it happens. It happens.
We won't say any locations.
We won't say any locations.
I want to say it so bad, but I'm not going to.
But here's the thing. But it's the same thing, right? So I'm sorry. We kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent, but it was worth it, right? And
okay, yours
the last thing
is
stronger overall emotional or relationship satisfaction. The combined effects of oxytocin, like reduced stress, increased attachment, and better communication, all contribute to a more fulfilling and satisfying marriage. Couples with healthy oxytocin levels are able to, they tend to report greater happiness, fulfillment, and a stronger desire to stay together. Listen, when it's all said and done, everyone listening or watching right now has got some oxy on them. You've got some oxy in you. It just needs to be released. There's no need to go and get, liquid encouragement, from the liquor store. There's no need. I'm not saying, you can't have a drink or whatever, but I'm just saying there's no need for I got to get in the mood. There's things that you can do right there. Holding hands, kissing, talking, rubbing each other, rubbing feet, massage, non-sexual massage, just little different things. Now I'm pushing her hand away.
I was gonna say, him washing the dishes, him cooking dinner.
Nowhere did it say doing chores releases oxytocin.
It does. It might for me.
But look, you've got oxy right there. And it's an opportunity for you to release it almost on demand. Now, does it overcome everything? There's a lot of things. Snooks talked about hormonal levels, aging, a variety of different things. Definitely get your doctor involved. But once you kind of find that balance again, we've got natural things that God has given us to actually help us. Right? Yeah. And so here's an opportunity. We had mentioned it before. I'm going to say this upcoming Saturday, May 11th, here's an opportunity for you to load up on some oxytocin by participating in a free game night, wearing your pajamas, playing, having fun, touching each other, loving on each other, rubbing on each, okay, keep it PG.
I'm like,
But I mean, just having fun.
No.
Creating a form of intimacy and sharing and having fun with each other to release some oxytocin, because when the Zoom goes off, the party don't got to stop. Y'all can play some more games on your own.
Right. The kind with no one needs to see.
Right. So, I mean, there's an opportunity there. And as a matter of fact, I think that's a great opportunity for the Raise the B.A.R moment.
The Raise the B.A.R segment,
Yes.
brought to you by Raise the B.A.R. So,
It's actually brought to you by raisethebarmarriage.com.
I'm so sorry. So this one says, the one that I'm gonna talk about: shower each other with affection throughout the day. A quick.
I thought you were gonna say shower.
Anyway, no. A quick kiss, a hug, or a back rub can go a long way. And obviously it's kind of about what we just been talking about. 20 seconds is not that long, And this is actually for those couples that feel like you're trying to find your way back to each other. This is a way to do it, holding hands, a touch, or an I appreciate you, and then give a hug. And if you are the person that's in the relationship that is having the challenges making the connection, maybe you have to count in your head 20 seconds, because I don't know what's going on. You may have some things in your relationship that you have to overcome. Continue to do that. Continue to show up. Lovey and I, we talk about our year 4. Our year 4 was very awkward after, I was like, I'm out. I want a divorce, whatever. We didn't divorce. We started.
It was more than awkward.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought you was going to say something about me. But it was very awkward. And that process of trying to make your way back to each other, oh my gosh, I felt like, what? Like, I can't even really explain it, how I felt. But I should say I can, because that whole 20 seconds, that was me counting 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, because it was so awkward for me. Now, we worked our way through it, and it's natural. Don't let the awkwardness of the beginning prevent you from pushing through. We've all had things that you're like, I just got to do it. Yeah, and you'll be happy that you did it if you both are working on the relationship. So just don't let it stop you or prevent you from moving forward, because you want to get back to that spot of what brought you to each other, or what kept you together in the very first place. That zealousness, that zeal for it. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to share this with them, or tell her about this, or whatever. You're going to get in, and you're going to, okay, but eventually you go back to just being natural.
So true. So on that note, we're going to close out the show.
On that note,
like we always say, until the next time.
And we hope that we see you May 11th. I'll say that again.
Okay, yep. We do hope to see you on May 11th. Put some clothes on. Right? It said PJs, and I didn't say lingerie. Pajamas. Wear the moo-moo.
But if you don't have any pajamas,
or just regular. Just come in regular clothes, whatever.
Yeah.
Just have some fun. Right? Well, we hope we see you this Saturday on Zoom. You can reach out to us. You can do the registration. That's going to be in the show notes, and you will receive the link. Yep. So until the next time,
be blessed.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Married Into Crazy podcast with Snooks and Lovey. Please like, subscribe to, and review the show wherever you access it, and tell a friend about us. Visit marriedintocrazy.com and see how Snooks and Lovey can bless your marriage directly.